Okay guys, so we're now moving to our front end part, and I definitely will start from the icons for our button to add the friends. Okay, we're going back to our Xcode and we're heading to assets.xAssets. We're going to the desktop, and here I got icons. I'll just insert it here. So there are two folders, friend and unfriend, for example, and we'll use the template image. We are now going back to our main.storyboard, and we will add the button to the cell. So select your search table view, select then the cell, going to the attributes inspector here, select none to remove this disclosure button, and here let's find an object which called button. Just simply drag it and drop it right over here. Okay, so first of all we'll delete the title of this button, and as the image we will use unfriend by default. Okay, so the size of this button we can write, let's say 50 by 50, something like this. Yeah, and the tint color by default it will be dark gray color. Width and height, okay, it's fine. And then let's reassign the layouts for this label like this, and we will click here this yellow button and we will run update constraints, so it will update the constraints of the label. Actually, what I will do, I'll remove this trailing constraint. I'll select the label. I will delete the trailing constraints. I'll resize this label like this. Hold Ctrl left mouse click drag to the button, and I will use horizontal spacing. And we'll use and we'll add the constraints to the button itself. Top, right, and we'll keep the same width and height. Okay, great. So this will be button to add the friend. Very good. Okay, now as the second step, we'll make the outlet connection from this button. Select the button and go to the here attributes inspector. Assistant in there, sorry. So hold Ctrl left mouse click drag, it will be outlet connection. We'll just put it right at the bottom of all of the objects, and this will be friend button or something similar to this. Friend button. Okay, very good. So we have made the outlet connection to friend button. Then we are going here to the friends.view controller, and I'm scrolling right to the top right before the last curly brackets closure. I hold Ctrl left mouse click drag, and here I make an action connection. Friend button underscore clicked. Okay, this is executed when friend button has been clicked. Very good. So what I want to do is when I find some user, I want to click this button and add someone to be my friend. Okay, I'm now going to the friends view controller right here, and I will start writing the code. Okay, first of all, I would like to write let URL equals to URL, open the round brackets, select the method with the string, and string, let's select the string which we used to write. It will be localhost fb friends. That is the one, friends.php. So that is the string and exclamation mark. Then we'll write a body. Let body equals to, in the quotation marks, we'll write first. Let's say action will be equals to add, and user underscore ID will be equals to left slash open and close round brackets. We'll write. By the way, yes, we need to access here as a step number 1. Step 1, access values to be sent to the server. Okay, so here I'll write guard let yeah, here we're writing guard let ID equals to current user question mark, then in the square brackets, and then in the quotation marks ID else return. And the second one we're accessing the friend's ID. We'll write guard let friend underscore ID, this is a new variable, will be equals to, we need to take it from the users, all the users which we are, let's say we search someone, in the user stored all the information of every user we found. And now we need to access the index path row, the particular user which we have clicked on. So for that one, we're going to the cell for road index path, and here we will get it now. Cell.friend button dot tag equals to index path dot row. Right here, I will write a new variable. Let index path row equals to, here as a sender will be friend button being as UI button. And here, let index path row will be equals to friend button dot tag. So here we pass index path row, we assign index path row to be the tag of the button, and here we take index path row from the tag of the button. Great. So here now we can see new users. In the square brackets we write index path row, then again in the square brackets we are accessing the value ID. Else we want to return. Here we are accessing index path row of pressed button. Like this, of pressed button. And here we are accessing ID of current user stored in the global variable current user. Here we are accessing ID of the user searched and clicked on. Great. Here we are preparing request. And now as the user ID will be the ID of current user, and friend underscore ID equals left slash, and in the round brackets we'll write friend ID. This is the ID of the person that we want to add to be our friend. Okay, great. Now after that we will declare a request. Var request equals to URL request, open the round bracket, select with the URL which we have declared above. Then we'll write request dot method equals to post. Then we'll write request dot HTTP body equals to body dot data using dot UTF-8 encoding. Great, great, great. Now we'll send request. So we'll write URL session.shared.data task with the URL with the request and completion handler. Request our request, completion handler data for data, response for response, and error for the error. Here, as usual, we'll pass it in the background queue, dispatch queue, dispatch queue.main.asynchronously. Don't forget here to write resume. And here, first of all, we'll check for the errors. If error is not nil, so then we want to return this. That is error occurred. Then if everything is fine, we want to catch now our JSON. Do and catch. Okay, here we will write, we'll access our data guard, let data equals data received from the server, else return this. Very good, and after this we'll access our JSON. Let JSON equals try JSON serialization dot JSON object with data that we have accessed, options allow fragments. This will be our options, yeah, and we'll cast it being as and as dictionary. As and as dictionary. Okay, here we are using a safe mode to access or cast data received from the server. Here we are converting data to being a JSON. Very good. And here we'll print out our JSON. Print JSON. Okay, and let's say if there's some error with the JSON, we will just return this. Okay, let me now put some alert messages. So I'll just copy it from the previous ones. For the catch, this means a JSON error. Go to the data and responses received from the server. For this case, it will be data error, your exclamation mark, and for error, it will be server error and exclamation mark as well. Okay, so this function will allow us to send a request to the server, to insert a request to the server. Okay, let's say we can search someone, then we can insert them. After we make the insert for function working well, then we will just retrieve it all back to the user. So step 1, accessing the value. Step 2, preparing request. Step 3, sending a request. This will be step 4, converting data to JSON. Okay, let me find, let's say, Bob. Oops, it says some error. Okay, let me check what error is this. My server is running. Yeah, actually it was some minor issue with my PHP code for the searching while I was experimenting, so now it's fine. Okay, so let's say I'll search for the Bob, or I'll search, let's say, for the Joseph, and that is the button to add the user, and I will click this. Request has been sent successfully. So we're going to the database, request, and here we go. So the Joseph is having the ID 15, where the James, current user, is having ID 14 to 15, and Bob is having ID 16. So let's add Bob as well. I click on Bob, and here requests inserted for the Bob as well. So that is really amazing, guys. That is amazing and beautiful. Okay, so now we will go to the part where we can retrieve all of our users. Let's go and do this.